Let's get to ABC's Ines de La Cuetara live in Tel Aviv for us. Ines, the Israeli military, as you just heard, announcing it is preparing a significant coordinated attack on Gaza. What more are you learning about that?
Hey, Phil. Yeah, so the IDF saying it is preparing an attack on Gaza by land, by sea, by air. They're saying it will include a significant ground operation. They're adding they're going to be broadly attacking Gaza City very soon. So that attack could now be just hours away. I don't think it comes as much of a shock. It was something we expected. Certainly all the signs had been there in the last few days. The military buildup along the border, the movement of troops, over 360,000 reservists called up. Those soldiers now in formation at the border. And we saw the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, visiting those troops earlier today, asking them if they are ready for the next stage. And the Gaza Strip really surrounded at this point. The biggest tell, I think, was yesterday when the IDF asked over 1 million civilians to leave northern Gaza and Gaza City and head south towards Khan Yunis. The IDF saying that's them trying to avoid a loss of civilian life, because they say as they're striking Hamas militant targets, because the Gaza Strip is so densely populated, civilians are caught in the crossfire. But that decision widely condemned. The UN, was saying that this was only going to push people further into misery and a humanitarian catastrophe unfolding there on the Gaza Strip. But yeah, that attack now imminent, Phil.
And as the UN says, as you point out, more than 1 million people have been displaced in Gaza because of the violence there. And it's estimated that 35,000 people are sheltering at Gaza's main hospital alone. What more are you hearing about that?
Yeah, the situation really dire in Gaza. Of course, they still have no food, water, electricity, because the IDF is continuing to lay siege to Gaza. Really, really dire situation for civilians there. Our team has been in contact with civilians throughout the week, and we've been following one woman's story in particular, a woman named Tala, who today actually tried to evacuate. She tried to heed the IDF's call for people to head south, and she didn't make it. They returned home. I'll let you listen to what she had to say.
We're moving under the bombs. We're moving under the bombs, asking people to let us be in their cars because we don't have a car. Everyone is moving. Everyone is moving. There's no safety here. I know we'll stay alive or not.
And you can hear the desperation there in her voice as she goes on to say that nowhere is safe. That is the feeling in Gaza right now. That is the problem with this, call for evacuations. People initially were given just 24 hours to flee. Tala went on to say they don't know what is really happening. They have no access to the news because there's no electricity. So she says there's all sorts of rumors spreading as to what's going to happen next, but they don't really know. So I think a sheer sense of panic there in Gaza, and some real concerns about the civilian population. Remember, they have nowhere to go. People cannot leave the Gaza Strip, and so lots of calls now for humanitarian corridors to be opened up with Egypt. We know U.S. officials have been in contact with Egyptian and Israeli officials for those humanitarian corridors to be opened up. Some bad news on that front, though. I think there was a hopeful sign earlier today when we thought that foreigners might be allowed to use the Rafah crossing to leave the Gaza Strip, and so maybe Palestinian Americans would have been allowed to flee, for instance. But that did not happen. Egypt is blocking those crossings. They say they first want to be able to get aid into Gaza before they allow for those crossings.
All right, Ines de La Cuetara, thank you very much from Tel Aviv.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.